Good Thursday, everybody. Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for Hail Trace for our daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, sponsored by C3 Group. Check them out in the description. In the description below here on Facebook, and go like their page and say Hail Trace sent you guys. Check them out, good guys. Good for getting claims going and everything. So more details in their page on the Facebook. Link in the description below. Make sure you watch our videos on your app if you happen to be out working and you can't get up onto Facebook real quick, just click on that lightning bolt lower right hand corner of your screen. And this is good for after it's live as well, so you don't necessarily have to watch it right away. You can watch the replays. It loops itself pretty much all day until the next live video comes out, and it'll show up in the lower right hand corner of your screen. You can continue working while you're watching the video, but if you do want to see full screen, you just rotate that phone in the landscape mode and click on it, and it'll give you a full screen view of these videos, just like if you're watching it on Facebook. And make sure you have those notifications set up, so if you do want to watch this live, especially on days where you have those forecasts that you're very interested in, go to your notification options, notification settings, and you can set up 1, 2, or all 3 different ways you can get those push notifications. Sometimes a push app, not gonna lie, can be a little wonky with when the notifications come out. That's some problem with Apple every now and again. You have to, so if you check off emails, the email comes in consistently every time as well. And of course, you can get to any of your various business needs, whether it's in your city area, whole state, or entire country. You can customize it to what you want to be notified for. Except for forecasts tend to go out to everybody. So all the other notifications, though, are much more customizable for what you receive. So this is your forecast for today. It's kind of a weird looking one. Have this little thing sticking out down here. This basically, there is a developing wind event happening in western sections of Iowa right now, and I kind of drew out where it might head. So you might see a lot of wind from it. This is west of Des Moines right now. Might see occasional quarter, $half size hail squeak out of that, and 2% for St. Louis for storms might be back building. The Nashville area got some storms earlier. Your hail threat has passed. It's off to your west now. And again, this whole little nub sticking out here, only quarter, $half size hail possible. Much more of a wind threat today. The big news, the big story of where all the hail is going to be is here in North Dakota. We had some storms. We had 3-inch hail this morning before even 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm willing to bet we'll see some softball size hail this afternoon and into this evening across North Dakota. I got a 20% chance for Bismarck. It's literally the only population center in the area. So it looks like you might see some big storms. At the very least, you're going to see some really intense winds later on. But again, hail anywhere in this purple area could get up to softball size. I think, again, a lot of instability in the air. This is the time of year where North Dakota can start throwing out some record-size hail. The all-time record in the United States is in Vivian, South Dakota, size about a volleyball. So this is the time of year when this stuff kind of happens up there. Otherwise, 5% Fargo, 2% Rapid City, 5% for Billings. Pretty rural area for the forecast today. It's sort of a shame because it looks like there's going to be some pretty monster hail. And I got that local hail forecast for Bismarck anywhere between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. Multiple rounds of storms possible. Got the max hail size maxed out here up to softball possible. I think there's about a 20% chance. A couple of the models are showing storms form right by Bismarck. So that really boosts that chance up there. But I'm still keeping that at about a 10% chance of making a 3-star or better. Honestly, because of the fact that Bismarck's not very large, and you have to get a direct hit into Bismarck for us to get upwards of towards a 5-star map. It's the only way you can get a 5-star map is if they get a direct hit with like softballs. And 3-star map, it's pretty much they have to get, most of the city has to get hit for there to be a 3-star map. So it really kind of cuts down those chances down to about 10%. And as the models are shown for today, you can see storms forming. This is the most recent run. The most recent run of the HRRR didn't have storms moving right over Bismarck. Well, they do later on. Again, multiple rounds. So this is going to be in the afternoon hours here. Those storms are going to be pretty monstrous. These storms in Montana, those will be pretty monstrous, and that'll turn into probably a really big time wind threat. And when I step out of the way, there's one thing. This is the most recent run showed this, so I wouldn't get too excited for it. It's just something I noticed. At the tail end of the run, this is overnight hours, there's storms forming and moving through by Minneapolis. This might just be a one-run wonder, but it's something that I'm just going to be watching. It's possible some other overnight surprises. If you remember, most of our 5-star maps in the month of June have occurred late at night and by surprise. So just something to keep an eye on for the remainder of today and going into tonight. Anyway, going into your forecast tomorrow, big wide area, but I think there isn't going to be a huge hail threat. It looks like again, what happens today will move into Minnesota in the overnight hours and into the morning tomorrow, and it might stabilize the atmosphere a little too much for Minnesota to see a whole lot of hail. But that's what we're looking at right now. Tomorrow morning, obviously, we'll be able to refine stuff a little bit better. I'm a little more confident some storms formed by Rapid City off of the Black Hills, up to some 2-inch hail possible there. And a couple of models have been showing some storms trying to fire up and down the high plains from just north of Lubbock all the way up into South Dakota. So we're looking possibly some hail there as well. But it looks like a pretty low-end threat. I don't think there's going to be that many storms, and I would not be surprised if a lot of this area storms didn't form at all going into tomorrow. I think Friday is going to be fairly quiet. And going into the weekend, it looks like we could also see not a whole lot of activity, at least on a couple of days. So this is what we're looking at for tomorrow. Again, see, there isn't a lot to be expected. A couple storms here and there. The 3-cam NAM wants to form some line out of thin air, which I take as some storms are going to try to fire, and you might get an isolated cell or two. And that's really all we're looking at for tomorrow. Again, nothing too crazy. Best bet is going to be here in South Dakota by the Rapid City area. And moving ahead to that 5-day forecast, will there be hail in that last waning days of June heading into the very beginning of July, the 4th of July weekend? I don't know if most of you guys are celebrating it this weekend or next weekend or just on Wednesday, but mostly, I'm sure, probably celebrating this weekend, so I'll call this the 4th of July weekend for your hail forecast. So here's today, up to softball size hail, low population, that 10% chance of a 3-star. Tomorrow, hail, I think up to 2 inches, 5% chance of a 3-star map or better. Again, susceptible to change based on how things are looking tomorrow morning. For Saturday, moderate population, hail up to tennis ball size, that 5%, and then Sunday, and then even going into Monday, things get a little more muddled. Looks like we're going to have a cold front, of all things, starting to crash through the Great Lakes area. So high population, of course, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, all those areas have tons of people in them. Unfortunately, I think the hail sizes are going to be less and less, and the chances of hail and getting that 3-star map or better is going to be less and less along with it. So what are the maps? What are we talking about in relation to everything? And of course, my area of concern for Monday showed up first. Why did that happen? Well, this is what we're looking at for Monday. So we're going to work backwards because apparently my animations were messed up. So Monday, again, yes, this is a pretty high populated area of concern, but I think it's going to be a line of storms from the cold front that's going to be moving through the area. And when we back it up, you'll see where the other risks are going to be at. But it looks like we'll probably see storms, but little in the hail. I think it'll be more just a squall line, some wind, some heavy rain, but the hail will be pretty minimal. Again, strongest cells could get up to some ping pong ball size hail. Now we jump back to Saturday with this risk here. I think on Saturday we could see probably some pretty big hail here in this section where my fingers are at, eastern Colorado into western Kansas, and we could see some storms as far south as Omaha and up and towards the Minneapolis area. If we can get storms to form and stay isolated, we could see some pretty good hail, possibly into some population centers on Saturday. But there's also indications that this just immediately goes into a line and goes roaring to the southeast and now continue into Sunday as well, where if storms die out and you get some redevelopment on Sunday, you could see some isolated cells, which will have a much better chance for hail for places like Des Moines, Chicago, and down towards Kansas City. But I'm leaning a lot more into squall line, MCS, little hail, big wind for Saturday into Sunday, and it had to be down here back towards the very end of the risk, the westernmost end of the risk, where you're going to see a better chance for hail. So maybe Kansas City on Sunday. And I talked about Monday already because my graphics wanted to show off Monday first. So that's all we're looking at for this weekend and heading into next week. I think things are going to be a little quiet once we get into the 4th of July week. 4th of July itself, there might be storms up in Canada, but it might be pretty quiet here in the United States. We'll have more details, of course. We'll be inching closer to that 4th of July forecast on tomorrow and on Saturday. Follow us on Facebook so you don't miss that, and hit see first so you don't miss any of our posts because of the Facebook algorithm. Every time you go on Facebook, our posts will pop up right at the top of your newsfeed. Only the first or second post, so it's not like it's going to clog your whole newsfeed with our posts. Just those first couple so you don't miss any of our videos or any of our posts for new maps or whatever interesting things we decide to post on there. Any comments, questions, or concerns that might not be addressed here in the video, or you just have a hail report request or interest in our product in general, give us a call on the number on the screen, 855-334-4245. Info@hailtrace.com is our email that you can send things to, or the most popular option now seems to be go on hailtrace.com, lower right hand corner of your screen, you click on intercom. It's a little speech bubble, and it sends out messages to everyone on staff, and we will respond to you as quickly as we possibly can. I know a lot of you guys send hail impact reports, we get a little backed up, and then we work through them throughout the day. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody. If for some reason a storm moves through Bismarck, we will be here for live continuing coverage, and if not, I'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. for our daily hail forecast like we do every single day here on Facebook, YouTube, our app, and anywhere else you might be watching us from that I might not be aware of. So have a great rest of your Thursday, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow.